Yesterday, September 10th, America witnessed a tragedy that I never thought I would ever see something like this in my lifetime. Right? Charlie Kirk was assassinated at one of his rallies where he debates people on college campus. It happened in Utah. And he's no longer with us. And as far as I'm concerned, it's a sad day in the YouTube community. And it's a sad day for content creators because Charlie Kirk was one of the most influential creators of this generation. For those of you who don't know, Charlie Kirk was pro life, pro family, pro freedom of speech, and pro America. And he was assassinated for that. And as a creator myself, as someone who wants to make a difference, as someone who, like all of you watching today, that might have a message, that might believe in something, and might want to share something with the world, that's deeply concerning. That's scary. In fact, I angry about it. That somebody could kill a man for what he believed in and what he spoke about. And you might not know Charlie Kirk. You might not even have heard of him. So a little bit about the man is that he went around campuses talking to university students because he loved debates. He loved having open dialogue. He was all about freedom of speech, sharing of ideas, and he believed that we as a people, in order to move forward and to get somewhere in life as a society, that we have to be able to have honest and open conversations with people even though you don't agree with what they say. That's what freedom of speech is all about. Bro was such pro free speech. The creators of South Park refer to him as a master debater. It's pretty funny, right? Master debater. They had a South Park episode about the man where Carmen was a master debater, and they had everything there was about Charlie Kirk and how he handles himself. It was supposed to be funny. Charlie Kirk is such a proponent of free speech. He aired the episode on his channel and he spoke about it and he laughed about it. Because he was the type of person, he was the type of man that regardless of whether or not you and he agree, he could understand and accept your position. What is so hard about that in today's world? That's why you're angry and upset about this thing. This man was killed for speaking his mind. This man was killed for promoting freedom of speech. This man was killed for family values. This man was killed because he was a servant of God. And I know he said he was pro-life, pro-family, pro-America, pro-freedom of speech. And I forget the most important pro that he was pro-God. He was a man that was speaking deeply rooted in his faith. And as far as I know, this is America. You're supposed to be able to have freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and the freedom of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Yet someone decided to kill this man. Whoever it is, for whatever reason, a senseless killing. And I, as a content creator, I am concerned about it because I am here and they tell us, hey, be authentic, share yourself, share your message. That's what they say about YouTube. But you mean to tell me that there's a possibility that somebody could kill me because of something that I put in a video? Because of a conversation that I had on a podcast, I could become a target? Clearly, there's an attack on free speech going on in America. Clearly, there's an attack on free speech going on in the world. Just the other day, I saw a story about a man from the UK who was arrested for tweets that he made on X in the United States of America. So you're not allowed to share your opinion. You're not allowed to share your beliefs. And as a content creator, you know, it's a very vulnerable place to be deciding to create content on any platform, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. And I respect the people that are brave enough to do it. And I respect Charlie Kirk. He was a role model. I believe that he was a good person. In fact, when you look at his platform and the things that he did, the conversations that he had, most of the conversations that he prioritized people that had opposing views to him. Can you imagine how much of a proponent of free speech that you are, that you prioritize having conversations with people that disagree with you and put those conversations out there to the world for them to see? Here's my view, here's their view, you decide. And they kill him for that. I believe Charlie Kirk would have been taught to probably become the president of the United States one day. 31 years old, they took his life. Bear with me because my thoughts ain't all together today, because I'm a little bit offset because he was a role model and I think he was a very key player in this last election cycle. The man stood up for what he believed in. The man was a very influential man. And I think that a lot of us as creators, that's what we're here to do. We're here to influence. We're here to share. We're here to build communities. Millions of subscribers. Millions of people that agree with him and millions of people that disagree with him. And he treat all of them the same way. He kept his cool. He was respectful of disagreements. And he taught one of the most valuable lessons ever. Learn to agree to disagree. Right? So what does that mean for the YouTube community? What does that mean for people that want to be vulnerable and put themselves out there? Because again, it's a serious thing. Because when you consider taking the leap to be vulnerable and have these kind of honest conversations and tell people how you feel about stuff and what you actually believe in, chances are, with the attack on free speech, could you be arrested for what you believe? Could you be killed? Could you be canceled? Would you lose your job because somebody doesn't like what you have to say? Because somebody disagrees with your point of view? It is out of hand. This thing is out of hand. Whether you sit on the left or the right, you should be outraged about this. I don't know how you could be. Because the same way that you could be a supporter of one party or a supporter of another party, you wouldn't expect that you would leave home and somebody would kill you for the way that you vote. You wouldn't expect that you could leave home and somebody would kill you because you decide that you are a Christian and you follow God. You wouldn't believe that somebody would kill you because you come out and say that you pro-family and that you believe in having a wife, having a kid, and being there for your family and providing and protecting. You can imagine somebody killing you for that. You can imagine somebody killing your brother, mother, sister, uncle for that. It's a scary thing. And they expect us to want to create content on these platforms. They expect us to want to be able to navigate and share content in a way that it doesn't offend people. And do it in a way now that you protecting your life. Your life depends on your message. And the funny thing about it is that when you look at Charlie Kirk's message, there's nothing that he says that isn't true. He's a man that did his research. And he's a man that has his positions. But yet, we killed the man for it. Because why? Because freedom of speech is under attack. I don't know who is behind it. But obviously there is a subset of persons out there that believe that in order for them to prosper, they have to subdue the opposition. And the only reason that you would believe that you have to subdue the opposition is because you know that what the opposition is saying is true. Because if a person comes up to me and tell me, yo, the sun does rise in the west and sets in the east. Well, I know that that person is crazy. because I know the sun does rise in the east and set in the west. Should I kill him for those views? Should I kill him because he is wrong? Should I harm him because he is wrong? Should he be meant to suffer because he don't know where the sun does rise and where the sun does set? No, that's ridiculous. That's insane to think about. Because the truth is the truth and the truth can't hide. And Charlie Kirk was a man that spoke the truth. Regardless of what you feel about him, he was one of us. He was a content creator. He was a man that had a dream to build something using a platform, and he built it. This is what all of us here as content creators want to do. We want to build a platform. We want to share our message. We want to build a community of people that are like us. And to just even think that somebody could kill you for that is insane. Anyhow, I'm not going to rant on it too much. What can we do as content creators to protect ourselves from this madness? Well, the first thing I'm going to suggest is take a page out of Charlie Kirk book and learn to agree to disagree. We have our positions, we have our principles, and we have our beliefs in life. We have to be like Charlie Kirk and hold those positions bravely and fearlessly. But not just hold the positions bravely and fearlessly. Hold the positions bravely and fearlessly within the means of the law. And this is America. First Amendment is freedom of speech. And we all know what the Second Amendment is, which is designed to protect the first. But they want to take the second away, so then they could take the first away. That's why I believe. But as content creators, we have to learn to agree to disagree. We have to have empathy and understanding for the people on the other side. Regardless of how angry we are about what happened to Charlie, we have to have understanding and empathy. And we have to approach our messaging with understanding and empathy. So that when we spread our message, we try our best to not get killed for it. Huh? We gotta try our best to not get killed for our message, my friends. Imagine that. So yeah, have understanding and have empathy. And if you're in a situation where you're sharing your views and you're with people that, do not respect your views or do not even want to hear your side, I would say avoid those people. But don't let them bully you into not sharing your message. Don't let them bully you into feeling that you are wrong for thinking differently. And this is a serious thing, because I had a person talk to me yesterday that was in tears about what happened to Charlie Kirk. And the thing that they said to me that really hit home was, I didn't know this man personally. Obviously, I know what he did. I've seen as a creator. I've seen his messages. I've seen his videos. But it hurt me to my core and it brings tears to my eyes. And I was super upset about it. And I don't think that person is upset because they're a super fan of Charlie more than they're upset because of what it means for America. What it means for the state of life that we live in right now, that people could kill you for your views. Study it. And that person said to me, obviously I keep this anonymous, that person said to me that what made it even worse for them yesterday is that they were at work when it happened. And they had to spend the whole day pretending that they were not grieving the loss of one of the most influential people in the United States of America right now. One of the most prolific leaders in the young demographic, 31 years old, leading millions of young people to Christ, leading millions of young people to being able to have objective debate and seek truth and facts and stay away from propaganda. And the person was like, yeah, boy, I was at work and it was so hard to not grieve or to not even look like they could be upset. And you know why they felt that way? Because of fear of retaliation from the people in their surroundings, because this person is afraid that somebody is going to judge her because she feels bad about what happened to Charlie Kirk, because of how the media and certain people portray this individual. And they blame the media a lot for it. So we have to be also careful in terms of what we consume. We have to start consuming truth and facts. And when we consume truth and facts, we spit out truth and facts. Right? Because there's an agenda happening. I don't know who's behind the agenda. And I don't want to make this thing political. But if you're seeing people not speaking the truth, there's a problem. And if we're seeing people that are speaking the truth being silenced and killed, that's a problem. So as content creators, we have to be aware. So when you create your content and when you want to get your message out there and when you want to influence others, please do it from a position of empathy and understanding. Understand the rules and the regulations and the policies of the platform that you're on. And understand that there is risk involved, and that if you decide to do this YouTube thing, if you decide to create content and to put your message out there, that there's a possibility that the outcome is not going to be favorable. And it saddens me to have to tell somebody that. It saddens me for me to even have to think about that as a father, as a husband. I got a 2-year-old daughter. This man had a wife and 2 kids. Beautiful family. Somebody believed that it was their right to take that away because they did not agree with what the things that he had to say or the amount of influence that he had on society. Right? Serious thing. That's something that we need to consider, especially if we plan to pursue being vulnerable and authentic on these platforms. They want to tell us to be authentic, but you could lose your life for being authentic and speaking the truth. But anyhow, the final point is going to be, is if you're going to use this platform, be sure to use this platform from a position of truth and facts. And consider other people and try to let the light within you shine. Because I know that a lot of you on here watching this today have a light within you, and you deserve to be able to share that light with this world. I deserve to be able to share that light with this world. Charlie Kirk deserved to be able to share his light with the world without having to worry that somebody is gonna try to snuff out your light. And that being said, I'm done with that. Right? Don't let it phase you. Keep on creating and, honor the man by not giving up and by being brave in your message and your position in life. My grandmother always tell me a man should have a position and principle in life. We all should. Gratitude is the attitude. Thanks for tuning in, and thoughts and prayers to Charlie Kirk family and for everyone who is mourning the death of Charlie Kirk today, because it really was a tragedy. Really was a tragedy. It was a tragedy. His assassination up there with MLK, JFK, and any of the other initials of the important people in this America that they succeeded in snuffing out, succeeded in killing these people because these people had a message and these people had a different position. Anyhow, I talk enough. Approach your situation and approach your content from truth and facts. Do your research and make sure that when you saying things, you saying the truth, you speaking from facts. So that if your life or your family or anything that you cares deeply about is compromised because of the things that you said, feel comfortable knowing that you will speak the truth. And if you just so happen to get unlucky like my man Charlie Kirk, at least Charlie Kirk could rest easy knowing that he speak the truth. Right? Gratitude is the attitude. Stay tuned for the next video that's going to be dropping next week. I had to squeeze this one in today because serious thing happened yesterday and I cannot talk about a serious thing. R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. Thoughts and prayers to the family and to everybody that mourning his passing today.
How do you want to be remembered?
I mean, if I die,
everything just goes away. How would you, if you could be associated with one thing, how would you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. The most important thing is my faith in my life.